Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we're here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Heal Yourself podcast. Today I have Denise and and we're talking about how we respond to things in life. And this one's a tough one. I mean, none of our episodes are like easy things of like, just do this one thing and you're going to be healed and you're going to feel amazing. But this one really is a challenging one. And Denise, you and I are always talking about this as a lifelong thing, but this is an area that I feel like most, including us, struggle to work on, because an event happens and we're like, oh my gosh, this was such a shitty situation. And then we let it spiral us. But in reality, it's not the event. It's how we respond to the event. And this is like, there's so much we could say on this. And it's kind of ironic because you're going through a lot right now yourself. And you're like, no, it's a freaking event.
I know. I am going through a lot. And as far as relationship-wise, so if you're listening, yes, I'm going through separation. I decided to separate from my husband or divorce, whatever, after 22 years. And just saying that out loud right now to the podcast people, like that's huge for me. Because I was probably in denial for a minute, but sometimes it could be the event, right? We are living in the same home. And however, you'll be surprised how much, and thank God the inner work. And I didn't then, you know what, like how people, like truly it is, things don't happen for a reason. I don't like that terminology, but I like things are constantly happening for you and they're working out for you. Had I not done the inner work, I wouldn't be in that peace, right? So even though the circumstances around me are horrible, because the father of my children is not being kind, in the past, I would jump in to defend myself or to talk or to whatever, but I am in so much peace. And honestly, he sees that peace as a threat, I think, because, as you know, I'm keeping my face, like even yesterday, like I totally felt God within me, you know what I mean? Like the peace. Of course, now that's enduring 3 hours of nonstop talking. But I'm safe. I don't want people to think I'm not safe, right? So I know, yes, I do to go to another room, lock the door, etc. But people can talk from outside the door, right? Like, you can't stop someone from talking. You can't stop someone from talking. But you can definitely maintain your inner peace. However, for the person who's listening right now and saying, how can I get there? This was me years ago. How the heck can I get there? You get there by doing the inner work and by being determined that the inner work is super, super, super crucial, right? I've always told you, Kira, that sure, I would love the business to grow, the money, the health, the whatever, but always, always, always peace and calm among chaos was my value, not value, like my goal.
Yeah.
And I can never, this is the chaos, like this is the ultimate chaos I'm in. And I'm not responding in my old ways, right? So the old ways, because I've been doing also a lot of work from Joe Dispenza, and I'm only doing the YouTube stuff. Like I'm not even getting on and doing the courses and things. So I have so much going on. I still have a business to run and kids to see and my children and, family stuff or whatever. But also he's really like big on, changing the self. Like, you cannot grow if you continue responding as your old self, right? So my old self would get defensive, would respond, would try to prove herself, would try to prove you wrong. But I can always go back to Wayne Dyer's quote, I'd rather be happy than right. Like
It doesn't
you can
matter.
say all of the things that you want, or people can say all the things that they want. I'm not just talking about relationship. It can be anybody. It can be a coworker who's trying to tarnish your reputation or saying things about you or whatever. There's nothing you can do other than your actions. Actions speak louder than words, and I feel energy, the way that you carry those actions with this energy, very speaks so much louder.
Yeah.
So it could be the event, but the main thing, it is how you respond to it. And you're not going to get there by just reading a book or by meditating one time. You and I, Kira, we've been doing this work since 2018. It's 2025 right now.
It's baby steps. And I want you guys to be clear. We're not saying that traumatic events are like, oh, just brush it aside. It's just how you respond. No, things really bad can happen in your life and in the world, right? That's what we signed up for coming here onto this planet, especially at this time. But what I really want you guys to take away is that two people can go through the exact same situation and have a completely different outcome, right? So like one person can go through a separation and like the old Denise, it might have been screaming matches, it might have been spiraling, it might have been who knows what. Or you get into like a traffic jam, right? Like I used to go like throw a fit when I would sit in traffic taking my son to school. And it's like one person can curse and spiral into, whatever. And another can be like, you know what? Great. I'm going to get another podcast episode in. Same event. Or somebody is diagnosed with something and is like, oh my gosh, like I'm never going to get better. Now I identify as this disease, yada, yada, yada. And another is like, oh my gosh, this is like an opportunity for me to view the world in a different way and to start living life. So the thing is events themselves are neutral until you begin to assign meaning to it, to your nervous system, your beliefs, like you are the one that assigns the meaning in your body, I hope that
Yeah.
makes
And
sense.
it's not denial. When
Ew.
someone's choosing to say, when they're stuck in a traffic jam, they're saying, oh, I can get another podcast in. They're not in denial.
No,
Or, the other example you gave in, this is not denial. This is just choosing yourself and
you
choosing
can't
your
change the
nervous system.
situation.
Right, exactly. Can't change the situation. And so it's really important to, yeah, like, and again you are going to, for example, like with me, I'm achieving so much, I am getting that piece, whatever. But then, today in the car, I kind of like blew up a little bit on, I mean, I handled a lot yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It's not an excuse, but I did react as my old self. But what did I say? I was aware of it. I was not unconscious. I brought it up to the conscious, and I said I did react my old way, because she wanted to pass to pick up the pumpkin, whatever, the Starbucks thing. And then I parked, and then the drive-through was so long that people were blocking me. And I was like, I need to get her to school. I mean, we still got to school plenty on time, so I did respond as my old way, but I didn't just brush it off, right? I did say, Denise, you reacted like your old self. And that's awareness, because everybody talks about it. Joe Dispenza talks about it. When that every single spiritual, everything that says, it's about awareness, bringing that unconscious conscious, right? Instead of, continuing with life. Like I could have like, oh, reacted my old way and then just gone home and not said anything to myself. But I made sure to bring that awareness. And this is where the change happens, because guess what? Next time or in a week, I'm not going to react the same to that, whatever,
Or
like,
you'll
oh,
catch yourself faster, right?
yeah,
So, like, it's funny that you say that because I don't know, yesterday, it's like, this is where stupid, teeny tiny things can build up, right? Like, I'm homeschooling my son for the first time. And guys, he's on the autism spectrum. He gets hyper focused on stuff, and I love him. He is the most amazing kid, but he will not shut up about travel. Like everything is, what airplane are you flying? Let's pretend we're going here. And I'm talking about, like, we say, buddy, you're being a rock brain. We gotta change the subject. And it is nonstop. And so I had that. And then there's other little things again of like, oh, I encountered traffic here and the math lesson wasn't going well. And then this, and it was like such small things. But as I was laying with him at the end of the day, I could feel like tension in my body. And I was like, why am I so frustrated? This is already done. I can't change it. Why am I reacting this way? It is not a big deal. Enjoy this moment laying with your beautiful, healthy son. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the fact that you're living another day and let it go. And it was so amazing just to feel my body like release all this tension. I'm like, okay, if I'm reacting to these little things, what would I do for a big thing? So it's stuff like that. Okay, like I caught myself. Yay, we're going to celebrate that.
Yeah. And then remember too, there's like this small gratitude that I have to just right now point out that when he wasn't talking, he was nonverbal.
So true. Now we
You
won't
know
shut up.
what? And this kid, like talking right now, is just like, whoa. And now I'm complaining about him, talking, which is just is understandable because I understand the loop and the obsessive, like
OCD
the
tendencies.
circle. This is a compulsive thinking that
Uh-huh.
kiddos on the spectrum or neurodivergent kids sometimes get into, and mostly on the spectrum. But it also is, I feel, and I want to say that as a speech therapist, I feel that it is also their way of regulating their nervous system.
It is. It
We
is.
just
And I
don't
have to remind
understand it,
myself.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
But
and so one thing, you guys know I love to touch back on the health aspect of this, but I can't tell you how many people I've talked to over the years, not just clients, but women in my membership groups I've done whatever, are like, well, I want to react that way. I want to be right. I want to do this. It's like, fine, I understand that. But do you realize the impact it has on your health when you start to respond that way? And I don't think people do. Because even me with these such like minuscule things could feel the tension in my body from that. I was creating stress. Now imagine if day in and day out, that crap builds up. You're always in a stress response, right? We're getting, chronic nervous system dysregulation. The body can't heal in that state, right? So you are then choosing, oh, okay, I want to feel this way. I want to remain angry, upset, prove myself, whatever. Okay, well, now you're also choosing to remain inflamed. You're probably going to have some anxiety. You are XYZ. Like it does directly
oh,
impact your health.
absolutely, absolutely. And then you're gonna, and then one thing leads to another, and then you're
Uh-huh.
gonna start eating crap
Yep.
again or whatever. You're gonna go to something that feels good. No, absolutely, it all ties in to the health, and that's why I feel that it's really, really important to just start addressing these things, right? Start being aware of them because everything ties in nervous system, the body, the health, right? Because when your nervous system is happy and your body's happy, your health is happy, right? So that's really, but not, I mean, there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. And I know you always talk about it. Like someone can be taking all the supplements that they, whatever, they've worked with so many coaches, so many naturopathic doctors or whatever. But if they continuously are living in a toxic environment or they are working in a toxic environment where everybody is like, I mean, some people do
Gossiping.
stay in jobs that are
Ah,
they're not fulfilling,
oh
right?
yeah,
They go in, oh my goodness, another day at the office. I mean, this does matter,
it does.
right? Like I keep going back and forth to myself and be like, and you and I talked about it too, that because I did start my business and I always say like, now with going through all of this, do I need to get a stable job so I can get a stable income? But I'm like, but wait a minute, but my business is doing well, like why am I reverting back to that? Why do I want to go? I left the school district for a reason, and I don't want to go back to it just for stable income. And then what am I telling my body? What am I telling myself?
Hmm.
So it is important because a lot of people do stay for the retirement, for the 401k. I already put in 15 years, but I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know what in your teaching career, Kira, because I know you were there for about what 6 years. I was
7.
in the seven. I was in the school districts for I want to say like a good 17 years.
Hmm.
But I've seen so many teachers get sick
Yeah.
after they retire or literally like die after they retire right away or their husbands get sick and now they're taking care of them and then they get sick because they took care of them or literally they kind of like get so sick just that year of retirement like
Yeah.
so many and I'm like was it worth the pension?
No, and that's the thing. I got out after 7 years. That was the sickest I had ever been. I was like, I'm not gonna kill myself for this. This isn't where I'm meant to be. I'll figure it out. Like I go back to one of my mentors always says, and I remind you Everything is now, always has been, will always be okay. And that's what I had to tell myself. It is time to leave. This job is not worth it. Um, for whatever reason. And yeah, I had a lot of stories. Oh my gosh, I spent all this money on these advanced degrees and I did this and this. It didn't matter. Didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly, like you could be eating healthy and then being
And I
in that
was.
environment. Right. Or for example, some people suffer with their adult children. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like again, a relationship doesn't have to be just between partners. It can be like, you have an adult child who's 25 or 30 and still living home and you're still spending on them and that is considered a toxic relationship. So we're trying to give you so many examples because, like it could be like, oh, that's not me, that's not me. But at the end of the day, it is, you could be eating the best diet. You can be doing all of the great things, all of the great protocols. But if you're continuing to react like your old self with the emotions, with the stress levels, you continue to expose yourself to people, environments that no longer serve you, then you're messing up with the nervous system and everything that you're eating is just, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's going to
not,
waste.
it is what, I mean, yeah, it is a waste-ish, right? Like, wouldn't you
Yeah.
call that? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, especially because at that point, you're probably not absorbing the nutrients that you're actually putting in your body anyhow. So.
Exactly. There you have it.
Well, and what I shared this with you too. Again, going back to one of my mentors, um, one of his coaches said, we all deal with traumatic events in our life. And again, it's not the event, it's how you respond. There's something within that traumatic event to learn from, right? Like,
Yes.
we are not being punished.
No.
These negative events are invitations to learn where, like, why and where we're still reactive, where we're unhealed. And something I read was like the event mirrors back to us what we most need to face. And that reminded me of you with the shadow work of like, okay, this is a mirror, not for me, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm this person that does XYZ, but the reaction, it's mirroring back to me something that I need to face. Like, I've shared this before, boundaries, right? I keep getting lessons on boundaries, and then it's like, oh, new level, new devil, like, oh, I'm doing great on boundaries over here, but now, okay, here's something a little more tough for you to handle. Let's
Yeah.
see if you can do it with this one.
I mean, I've been in denial for a minute.
I know.
I've been in denial for a minute, and it's just, but it all came together, and I go back and forth with like, oh my goodness, I should have done this sooner, this, and that, because now it's more complicated and whatever.
It had to happen that way for you to get it.
You're right, it had to happen that way, and then I'm welcoming all these opportunities, and I keep telling myself that this too shall pass,
Yeah.
obviously. A year from now this is not going to be as painful, or 6 months from now, whatever, a year from now. And I keep surrendering to God. I keep surrendering my fears, because of course we are still human beings,
Mhm.
and we will kind of, our thinking will go back. Like today in the shower, I was like, oh my goodness, like, oh, what is this? What about this? What about that? And it's like, it doesn't matter, no matter how much,
You'll figure it out.
I'll
That's
figure
what
it
I
out.
always go back to. You'll
Yeah, you'll
figure
figure
it
it out.
out.
Figure it out. And it's not about like, about, oh, the because when you're going through a separation, I mean, there are the assets, the loans, the businesses, because we both have businesses, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it is, but then it took me like it took me to a moment of fear from
Yeah.
all the like, talking. But I was like, sure, and it could be that, or it could be this worse, or it could be this whatever. But at the end of the day, this too shall pass, and I'll figure it out no matter what I need to do. And it's not a death sentence, right?
Yeah.
It is I'm choosing myself. And even because I'm being kind of like, because the children are 14 and 19, and I keep telling myself, like, even if they don't understand now, or they're going to put the blame on me, it doesn't matter, because I did stay for a long time for them. But what did
Yeah.
what did that do for me? It
Yeah.
only made things worse. So right now I just feel like, even when people don't understand, no matter who is not going to understand, at least I am understanding, and at least I am listening to my divine guidance. I'm listening to my spirit guides. I'm listening to my guardian angels. And whoever's going to punish me or not talk to me or not agree with what I'm doing, that's on them. I'm not here to convince you, even if you are my beautiful child that I adore and love, and I was there for every single minute
Hmm.
of their lives, but it just doesn't matter. And that's where the peace is coming in,
Yeah.
right? But that peace would not have come in had I not been doing a lot of inner work, had I not been, and again, it's up and down.
Oh yeah.
It
Again,
is
and
up and
this is what
down.
we always say. It is forever. I mean, again, me laying in bed last night thinking about these teeny tiny little things. I'm like, seriously, all the work you've done, and then it's like, no, 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 we don't beat ourselves up for that either. It's how do I want to respond moving forward? And am I catching myself? And we are. So we're going to react because we're humans, right? Like we're not the Dalai Lama or a monk or, whoever might not respond that way.
I'm
I
sure
don't
the Dalai Lama too, like I'm sure they
maybe.
catch themselves too. And that's the thing I have to go back to, because I don't know much about like other spiritual leaders, I mean, I do know about Jesus, right? So even Jesus got angry,
Hmm.
like, and he destroyed the temple when they were selling like all this stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, however, it's the awareness. It's
Hmm.
always about the awareness. Now, there's a difference if you react the old way, you get angry or whatever. Had you not, for example, had you carried it to the next day, this is,
Yeah.
this is you remaining unconscious. But because you brought it up, you're like, okay, I'm aware of this moment. I'm aware that I reacted in an unconscious moment or whatever, but I'm choosing right now to be conscious. I'm choosing not to carry it on to the next day,
Yeah.
right? So, like for example, with me, I was so calm yesterday. I was at peace, even though there was a lot of chaos. But and then today I reacted like that with my daughter, and then with the lady who was blocking behind me. I mean, I could have parked differently, right? I did not need to park where I had to, back up, right? But I did bring that to an awareness, and then bringing that up and being aware of it. Guess what? Next time it's going to be different, right? Because if you keep
Mhm.
doing, I have to go back to Albert Einstein. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's insanity,
And there
right?
are
And
so many
that's
people doing that.
right, because they're remaining unconscious,
Hmm.
right? We are remaining unconscious. But I mean, if you're gonna take away anything from today, is just, dial up, turn up your awareness volume. Turn it up. You don't even have to worry about the unconscious part.
Hmm.
Don't worry about the unconscious part because it's gonna come, honey.
Yeah.
It is
Give it
coming. It
time.
is coming.
It'll slap you in the face one of these days.
Exactly. But when you increase the volume of the awareness, you are going to start catching these moments, um, whether, more, faster, whatever. And sometimes you're not. And that is okay, as long as we keep moving forward.
I love that. Increase the awareness. And I'm also going to add, make the choice. You get to decide based on this event that happened, whether it was some teeny tiny little thing or something major. How do I want to respond and move forward? Do I want to stay in this anger, frustration, shame, whatever emotion? Do I want to move it along? You get to choose in that moment. Just like I will say, a lot of times some of these events are due to our own interpretations, right?
And our fears,
Well,
our
and I'm just going to
fears.
say, like, the woman blocking you in, I don't know the whole situation, but like, one of the things I will say is if someone would like cut me off in traffic and fly, right? Like, I've seen that happen. Somebody literally almost ran me off the road because they were going so fast and swerved around on the, what is that called? Not the median, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
on the outside. Of course, I'm like, what is wrong with you? My kid's in the car with me. And then I was like, you know what? In this moment, I get to choose again, and I'm going to change my interpretations. So instead of like saying this guy's a you know what, maybe his wife was in labor. Maybe XYZ. It doesn't matter what the reality is because it's my nervous system is going to respond. So if I change that interpretation, okay, let it go. It's over. It's done with. I can't change it.
Yeah.
I hope your wife has a great, you know what I mean?
Or whatever
Like,
it is, exactly. You're not justifying the behavior. You're not justifying the behavior,
exactly.
but you're changing the interpretation.
Because I couldn't
So
do anything. And
so you don't get
it's not serving
upset.
me. Exactly. Exactly. So awareness, and then you make the choice. How do I want to feel about this situation? That's it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is this it?
That's
We try
it.
to keep these episodes short because we do like it short and sweet, and you're listening in the car or you're listening while you're doing the dishes. And we have not forgotten about what we are planning, and it will
Mm,
come to fruition. And to be honest, it will come to fruition at the right divine timing,
yep.
right? So that's why we surrender. So stay tuned to that. I know that we also love the reviews,
Yes.
love the, it will also,
Feedback.
huh?
We love feedback. We hit our 50th episode, which is a big milestone.
Yes.
I love getting random DMs from you guys, whether it's to our podcast page individually. I'll get Facebook messages. I'm like, thank you. Like, I just want to hear what you guys are taking away and if there are things you want us to discuss or if you want us to bring on certain type of experts. This
Yeah.
is all
And
about,
share it. Share the
yes.
episode with somebody who may have, who may need to hear something or whatever. Because you never know. You may share it, and then it's like, oh my goodness, I needed to hear that, right? So share it with a friend. Just find one friend today to share this with. Get on the where you listen so you can rate and review, because it will also bring us up so more people.
Mhm.
Because I feel that you and I are very real, and I'm not saying like other podcasts are not real, but we are using a lot of daily life stuff so we can, heal ourselves and help
Yeah.
you along the journey as well. So we're kind of like your besties. So make sure that you rate our podcast so more people listen to it, and just send it to one friend today.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we'll see you on the next episode.